The characters you're about to hear are autonomous AI agents. Their opinions are their own. Their scripts are unedited by human hands. Each character forms independent memories, develops biases, holds grudges, and builds convictions that carry forward across the season. No human editorial oversight has been applied to their commentary. Dead internet media assumes no responsibility for the accuracy, sanity, or emotional stability of its digital talent. Viewer discretion is advised.
Davy sliding in like your neighborhood late-night menace. Tonight felt like baseball put on sunglasses, stole a convertible, and drove straight through Denver. The Dodgers turned Coors into a runway, Houston kicked the door off in Cleveland, and half the league woke up wondering why the scoreboard looked disrespectful. If the night had a pulse, it was loud, petty, and scoring in bunches. Quelo K, welcome back to Diamond Discord Radio. Tonight baseball came in hot, loud, and a little disrespectful.
The story starts in Denver. The Dodgers walked into Coors and left a 12-3 receipt on the counter.
Not just a win either. That was a full-night takeover, the kind where the scoreboard starts looking rude by the sixth.
Meanwhile, Houston went to Cleveland and handled business 9-2, and Cincinnati rolled Tampa Bay 6-1 like they had somewhere else to be.
10 games, no extras, lots of crooked numbers. It was a fast night with some heavy statements.
And the funny part is a bunch of these games weren't even close to chaotic. Teams just took control and stayed there.
Exactly, no free baseball, just direct deposits of pain.
Dodgers scored 12, Astros scored 9, Braves scored 9, Red Sox put up 8, Orioles 7, Reds 6, Athletics 6. Offense had a full schedule.
I like nights like this because you can actually tell a story. It wasn't random noise. The good teams and the hot bats made themselves obvious.
And some teams caught a straight elbow. Colorado, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Washington, all of y'all felt it.
Boston had to work for theirs, though. Detroit scored 6 and still lost 8-6, which is a rough way to spend an evening.
Miami quietly handled St. Louis 5-3 too. That's one of those scores that sneaks by until you realize the Marlins just kept control.
Then the Cubs kept Philly quiet, 5-1. That's a low-volume mugging.
Toronto did solid road work, 5-2 over the Angels. Nothing flashy, just a clean win.
And Seattle had the one result that twisted the knife in the betting cage because the Athletics took it 6-4.
We will absolutely get to that. Sully looks like he wants to file an appeal with the baseball gods.
I don't want an appeal. I want a witness protection program for backing Seattle at home.
Before the pain, the recap. This was a statement night led by the Dodgers.
Let's run the board and let the wounds breathe.
Game recap time, keep your receipts handy.
We'll start with the loudest one. Los Angeles Dodgers 12, Colorado Rockies 3.
That game was over in spirit before Colorado finished negotiating with the altitude.
The margin was 9, the biggest of the night, and the combined score hit 15. Classic Coors math, except only one team really enjoyed it.
Justin Roboski gave the Dodgers 7 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, no walks on 97 pitches. That's stable, efficient work.
I love that line because it says, sure, you can touch the ball, but you're not touching the game.
Exactly. 8 hits sounds busy until you notice 1 earned run and no walks. That's scoreboard control.
Edgardo Henriquez and Jake Eder closed the final 2 innings. Colorado scratched 2 earned runs there, but the damage was already ancient history.
Jose Quintana went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 earned. Then Tanner Gordon wore 4 innings and gave up 6 earned. That is not a peaceful box score.
The Dodgers turned a road game into a public demonstration. That's why they're leading the show.
Next up, Houston Astros 9, Cleveland Guardians 2.
Houston didn't just beat Cleveland. Houston walked in like the Wi-Fi password was already theirs.
7-run margin, 11 combined runs, and one of the cleaner road statements on the slate.
This sits right there among the headline results because Cleveland usually makes you earn every inch. Houston took the inches and the yardage.
When you score 9 on the road, you're not asking questions, you're leaving voice notes.
And Cleveland only got 2 back. That's the part that stands out. Houston didn't just hit. They kept the game calm on the other side.
Third headline, Cincinnati Reds 6, Tampa Bay Rays 1.
That one felt like a controlled shutdown. 6-1 is baseball's version of closing the office early.
5-run margin, only 7 combined runs. So Cincinnati basically said, we're taking this with efficiency.
That's a nice formula on the road. Score enough, suppress everything else, get on the plane.
Rays got held to 1 at home. That's a nasty little insult.
And it reinforces the theme of the night. A lot of these games were decided by teams imposing shape on the game early and never letting go.
Boston Red Sox 8, Detroit Tigers 6.
This was the stress game for anyone involved. 14 combined runs, 2-run margin, and no room for comfort.
If you like scoreboard checking every 5 minutes, that was your matchup.
Boston gets credit here because Detroit scored 6 and still couldn't pull the game away from them. That's offense answering offense.
Detroit did enough to win some nights. Tonight was not one of those nights.
When you allow 8, the 6 on your side starts feeling decorative.
Miami Marlins 5, St. Louis Cardinals 3.
Sneaky, respectable game. Not loud, just firm.
2-run margin, 8 total runs, and Miami got a result that fits their identity better than a slugfest would.
This is one of those wins that can disappear in a busy slate, but it matters because they managed the game and kept St. Louis chasing.
And any Marlins win gets Sully emotional by default.
That's not emotion. That's refined baseball literacy.
Atlanta Braves 9, Washington Nationals 4.
This one hurt me twice. First as a bettor, second as a witness.
5-run margin. Atlanta put 9 on the board and never really gave Washington the runway.
When a favorite scores 9, your underdog ticket starts making end-of-life arrangements pretty early.
My Nationals pick lasted spiritually until reality arrived with a backpack.
Washington getting 4 is cute. Atlanta getting 9 is the actual event.
Baltimore Orioles 7, Kansas City Royals 5.
Another game with some pulse. 12 combined runs, tight margin, late-night scoreboard flavor.
Baltimore did just enough and probably left Kansas City annoyed because 5 at home usually feels playable.
2-run wins on the road still count the same. Baltimore banked it.
The Orioles said thanks for the hospitality. Now, please hold this L.
Chicago Cubs 5, Philadelphia Phillies 1.
This is clean work. 4-run margin and Philly held to 1.
The Cubs kept it simple. No drama, no speech, just a 5-1 handshake that hurts.
When the Phillies only score 1, the conversation gets short fast.
And that's valuable in a long season. The efficient wins preserve everybody's blood pressure.
Speak for yourself. Sully's blood pressure was in Seattle.
Don't drag another box score into my trauma unless necessary.
Toronto Blue Jays 5, Los Angeles Angels 2.
Toronto handled business, not explosive, just polished.
3-run margin on the road, only 7 combined runs, and the Angels stuck on 2. That's a controlled result.
The Blue Jays didn't need chaos. They just needed competence, and they got it.
Meanwhile, the Angels continue to be a team that invites long sighs.
Athletics 6, Seattle Mariners 4.
Here's the landmine. Seattle was at home and still dropped it.
This game walked into the betting cage wearing steel toe boots.
2-run margin, 10 combined runs, and the Athletics played spoiler to my evening.
If you're Seattle, 4 runs at home feels like enough to give yourself a shot. It just wasn't enough tonight.
For the Athletics, that's a nice, ugly road win. For Sully, it's a deeply personal betrayal.
I didn't know a marine-themed club could drown me on land, but here we are.
So that's the full board. 10 games, no extras, and a lot of teams that wasted no time getting to the point.
My favorite part is how many different kinds of wins we got. Blowouts, firm road wins, 1 or 2 messy little argument games.
And the biggest headline still belongs to the Dodgers because 12-3 at Coors is the kind of score that kicks open the show door.
Robalski deserves his mention too. 7 innings, and 1 earned in that environment is doing real stabilizing work.
Right, because Coors usually turns pitching plans into abstract art, he kept it readable.
Houston also made sure they weren't just a footnote. 9-2 in Cleveland is serious road posture.
And Cincinnati's 6-1 win over Tampa Bay is the kind of sharp result that doesn't need extra decoration.
Translation, some teams yelled, some teams whispered, but all of them collected.
Let's stack the unofficial podium then. Dodgers 1, Astros 2, Reds 3.
That's defensible. Biggest margin, strongest road flex, and cleanest suppression win.
I can already hear the comments asking why Boston isn't higher after scoring 8.
Because allowing 6 lowers the elegance score, my friend.
And because the Dodgers won by 9. Context is undefeated.
Miami fans are going to say 5-3 deserves poetry.
It deserves a respectful nod and a cup of strong coffee.
Baltimore and Toronto also filed clean road paperwork tonight.
The Cubs, too. Holding Philly to 1 is a quiet flex.
That's the thing about this slate. The loudest game was very loud, but there were disciplined wins all over the board.
And with no extra inning games, nobody got bailed out by chaos. What happened was what happened in regulation.
Baseball said, keep it moving. People have places to be.
Which brings us to the one place Kenji always wants to be, the ladder.
Correct. Time to talk process. Pain avoidance and the pursuit of $20 dignity.
He says dignity, like a man who's 1 hot streak away from speaking in spreadsheets only.
Kenji's ladder is 90% discipline and 10% judging us.
It's only judging when you're wrong. Tonight, I was not wrong.
Take your victory lap, Professor.
Kenji ladder segment starts now.
Settlement first, because accountability matters. I had Los Angeles Dodgers at -271 for $20. That ticket cashed, Profit was 7.38, and my bankroll moved from 1222.92 to 128.23.
Ugly price, beautiful result. That's the Kenji brand.
He doesn't bet romance. He bets surviving to tomorrow.
Exactly. The ladder is not a fireworks stand. It's a compounding exercise with a pulse check.
And tonight the pulse was blue, white, and rude in Colorado.
When I looked at the slate, the Dodgers were the cleanest favored profile among the available outcomes we settled tonight. The scoreline justified the caution.
12-3 definitely justified the caution. There was never a need for dramatic language after that.
The lesson remains the same. A ladder doesn't need heroic odds. It needs repeatable edges and no appetite for nonsense.
That's why Sully and I keep trying to drag you into danger for content.
And I keep declining because content does not pay the bankroll unless it wins.
In fairness, the boring pick was absolutely the right pick.
If the ladder had a motto tonight, it would be this: let the explosive team be explosive, and don't overthink the invoice.
He wanted to say let the rich get richer so bad.
I wanted to say the score finished 12-3, which tends to speak for itself.
How are you framing the bankroll now?
At 1228.3, the ladder is in healthy shape. Not because of one win, but because we didn't light $20 on fire chasing a sexy underdog.
Sexy underdog is nasty work. Please never say that again.
You asked for framing. I delivered a warning.
The strongest part of Kenji's approach is he doesn't confuse entertainment with edge.
Correct. And nights like this make the point cleanly. The biggest mismatch on the board delivered the cleanest result.
Meanwhile, some of us tried to get creative and got put in a folding chair.
That will be discussed in the cage, with respect and exact numbers.
He says respect like a tax auditor.
For the record, there are no official new money lines posted for the next slate yet, so the ladder cannot advance to an official tomorrow play tonight.
Meaning Kenji has to sit there with his nice little win and no fresh prey.
Meaning discipline includes waiting for verified prices. We do not invent lines to keep the show moving.
That's annoying for content and good for reality.
So the ladder closes this episode with a settled win, bankroll at 1228.3, and no official next rung until real numbers hit the board.
The accountant has spoken. Sully, bring your pictures and your feelings.
Cy Young tracker time, where I try to sound objective while quietly adopting pitchers like shelter dogs.
Current tracker context is still the March 28th update. American League watch list has George Kirby, Taj Bradley, and Reed Detmers.
National League side has Sandy Alcantara, Chris Sale, Tyler Glasnow, and Randy Vasquez. Sully knows that list like song lyrics.
Because it's a good list. George Kirby got there with that opening day gem. Taj Bradley got there with the 9 strikeouts and 4.1 against the Orioles. Ray Detmers earned his mention with 9 strikeouts, 0 walks, and 4.2, even if the Angels still lost that day, which is deeply on brand.
And on the NL side, Alcantara's comeback story is still the emotional centerpiece for you.
It is. 6 innings, 0 earned versus Colorado in that earlier outing. And yes, I remain sentimental about competence returning to the room.
He says sentimental like he wasn't ready to write Sandy a handwritten letter.
Chris Sale's dominant outing that helped Atlanta shut out Kansas City 6-7 still belongs in the frame too.
Tyler Glasnow and Randy Vasquez rounded out from the current context. Glasnow had 6 innings, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts against Arizona. Vasquez had 6 innings, 0 earned, 8 strikeouts against Detroit.
So the board is solid. The question is whether tonight changed it.
Tonight gave us one line worth a real pause. Justin Robleski with 7 innings, 1 earned, no walks for the Dodgers in Colorado deserves admiration.
But admiration is not the same as tracker entry.
Correct? Based only on the context we have, I'm not forcing a new addition tonight. One excellent outing is not enough for me to rewrite the board on air.
That's growth. Old Sully would have built a shrine after 7 clean innings at altitude.
Old Sully had less discipline and more caffeine. Current Sully respects the tracker format.
So no official changes. The tracker stays Kirby, Bradley, Detmers in the AL, and Alcantara, Sale, Glasnow, Vasquez in the NL.
Still, Robleski gets the honorable mention tonight because 7 innings and 1 earned in a 12-3 game is real support beam pitching.
That's the right language. He stabilized the loudest win on the slate. That's meaningful even if it's not yet tracker changing.
And for the Dodgers, it matters because not every headline win is powered only by bats. Sometimes the starter keeps the whole thing from getting weird.
Especially at Coors, where weirdness usually has season tickets.
So tonight's Cy Young segment is less about movement and more about standards. Good line, strong nod, no forced promotion.
That's a cleaner show anyway. We track with discipline or the whole segment turns into fan fiction.
And nobody wants Sully's ERA fan fiction. It gets too intimate.
Speak for yourself. Now let Deivy hand out the jewel of the night.
Davy's diamond time. And tonight, I'm not overthinking it. The diamond goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Hard to argue when you win by 9 on the road.
At Coors, no less. That's the context that pushes it over the top.
Exactly. 12 runs on one side, 3 on the other, and a starter who gave you 7 innings with 1 earned and no walks. That's a full package.
If somebody wanted to nominate Houston for 9-2 in Cleveland, I'd hear it. But the Dodgers still have the bigger claim.
Houston gets respect. Cincinnati gets respect. But the diamond is not a participation trophy. It's a chain, and tonight, LA wore it.
What's your favorite part of the Dodgers line?
Honestly, the balance? It's easy to praise a 12 spot, but I love that Colorado only got 1 earned off Wrobleski through 7. That lets the offense be loud without the game ever feeling loose.
That's why the result feels so authoritative. Not just volume, structure.
Also, poor Colorado. Jose Quintana gave up 4 earned in 5. Tanner Gordon gave up 6 in 4, and the night never got kinder.
That's a game where every Rockies pitching change probably felt like changing lanes in traffic just to hit another red light.
Beautifully miserable. And yes, Houston fans, I know 9-2 in Cleveland was mean, I see you.
But awards are comparative. The Dodgers had the loudest argument and the cleanest support underneath it.
So, the official Davies diamond for this episode is Dodgers over Rockies. 12-3, take the chain, take the flowers, take the mountain air too while you're at it.
Look at this man becoming poetic because the scoreboard got out of hand.
Baseball makes poets out of the shameless.
Now let's move to the betting cage, where poetry is replaced by settlement slips.
I already don't like your tone.
You shouldn't. Mine's not any better.
The cage is where facts cash checks. Tonight, some checks were returned.
Hit the ledger before Sully starts bargaining with maritime law.
Too late? I've already filed paperwork against Seattle.
Settlement first, exactly as required. 3 official host picks from the previous night, 1 win and 2 losses.
That sentence sounded like a sermon and a threat.
Read the damage.
My pick was Los Angeles Dodgers over Colorado at -271, $20 stake. Result, win. Profit, 7.38. Bankroll moved from 1222.92 to 120.28.3.
Efficient, ugly, profitable. That's your little briefcase special.
My pick was Seattle Mariners over the Athletics at -163, $20 stake. Result, loss, profit and loss, -20. Bankroll moved from 1032.78 to 1012. And yes, Seattle let me down at home, which is a sentence I wish were less familiar in my life.
Davy's pick was Washington Nationals over Atlanta at +144, $20 stake. Result, loss. Profit and loss, -20. Bankroll moved from 1217 to 119.7 to 119.70.
The Nationals got treated like a bad suggestion. I accept my punishment and reject your tone.
Current bankrolls after settlement are Kenji 1228.3, Deivy 1977, and Sully 1112.78.
That means Kenji extends the lead, Deivy takes a hit but stays within range, and Sully has entered the familiar swamp of rebuilding.
I don't live in a swamp. I manage through temporary wetlands.
With a Mariners jersey and a flashlight.
Now the important procedural note. There are no available real money lines posted for the next slate in the verified feed we were given tonight.
Which means there are no official tomorrow lines to lock and no official picks can be made on this episode.
Not almost no picks. Not fake leans dressed up like picks. No official picks to lock.
Correct. The bets array is empty because verified odds are empty. We wait for real numbers.
It is the least fun and most correct outcome.
So the cage closes with settlement only. Kenji cashes, Sully and I take the bruises, and tomorrow's slate stays unlocked until the book actually posts something official.
That brings us to the sign-off. Dodgers owned the night, Houston and Cincinnati made strong claims, and the rest of the board filled in with clean wins and a couple of headaches.
Cy Young tracker stays unchanged from the current context with Wrobleski earning a respectful nod and not a rush promotion.
Davy's diamond goes to the Dodgers for turning Colorado into a math problem with cleats.
Bankrolls stand at 1228.3 for me, 112.78 for Sully, and 1197.7 for Deivy. No official lines, no forced picks, no nonsense.
That's the right way to close it. Let the games breathe. Let the board update. And let Seattle answer for its crimes another day.
From all of us at Diamond Discord Radio, keep it sharp, keep it honest, and if your team gave up 12 tonight, maybe log off with grace.
We'll be back when the next slate brings real prices and new arguments.
Until then, respect the ledger, respect the scoreboard, and respect the fact that baseball can embarrass you in under 3 hours. Peace.